Okay, so to continue our coverage over the new 52 of Teen Titans and Superboy, we actually pick up with the trial of Kid Flash. Now remember, Kid Flash was told to us to be Bart Allen, but as the story went on, we come to find out his real name is Bartor, not Bart Allen. Now, we're about to learn his complete origin in this storyline, because throughout Teen Titans in the new 52, it was kind of like a big mystery. We had no idea what was his origin story. Is he related to Barry Allen like he was before the new 52? And so with that being said, after Forever Evil, the Teen Titans were thrown into the time stream, and they had traveled to different time points across the DC universe. But then they reached this time point, Kid Flash time, the far future. And with that, they come to find out that Kid Flash was not a good guy. Matter of fact, he was a bad guy. And so now we're learning, how in the world did Kid Flash, a young kid who seems like he always wanted to help people, become a bad guy, or was a bad guy in his future? What did he do? And so we jump back to when Bart Allen, or Bartor, was 8 years old, where he had to watch his parents be murdered. And the reason why, because they praise a god, not the god, but a god. Now we're left to believe they were praising the god, but we have no actual idea. But the reason why they were killed for that is because at this point in DC's timeline, there's a group called the Functionary. Have a hard time saying that word, but either way, the Functionary is basically a police force, and you are not allowed to praise a god or the god. And so with that, they killed his parents. Now, of course, Bartor was hiding, and so this police group had no idea there was a child in there at all. But of course, they're kind of like, we'll just burn the place down to make sure everyone dies. And so when Bartor heard that, he knew he had to escape. But before he did escape, he had to save his baby sister. And so he runs in, he grabs her, sneaks out the back window, and he was able to get away. But now he's on his own. They're on their own. He has to take care of himself and his sister. But of course, now he knows why the Functionary is technically a bad group. Now, we do get reminded that this origin story is not just being told to us, but it's also being told to the rest of the Teen Titans. Because remember, they had no idea about the origin of Kid Flash. It's just that one day he appeared, he forgot who he was, but over time he would learn just small pieces of his past, but of course he was still unable to tell them anything. And so now they're watching this on a computer screen. They're seeing what he had to go through to survive. He had to steal. He had to fight to survive. And at first it's kind of like, okay, he lied, he stealed, but he's doing this as a way to survive, but to also save his sister's life. What did he do actually wrong? And that is the moment we come to find out he did almost anything to survive. Because then we jump over to a different point of time where you still have Kid Flash being, well, a kid really, and trying to take care of his sister. But because he broke into a store and he was caught, the store owner was about to do something really horrible to his little sister. And so with that, he was able to break free, grab something sharp, and stab and kill the shop owner. And so that right there began the process of saying Bartor was no longer just lying or stealing. He was now killing as a way to survive, which is murder. And that is why he is bad. But also it led him down to a darker road, a road that he couldn't come back from, where he believed he was doing something great for everyone in the empire. Now, Bartor realized that he was unable to actually take care of his sister, which makes sense because he's only 8 years old. So what he did next was he gave her up to a sisterhood of word. Now, of course, with Bartor not being a girl, he couldn't join the group, but at least his sister would have a better life. And so he continued on, which of course led him down the road to meet some more bad people. And he met some people who were basically basically drug dealers. And these drug dealers use kids as a way to transport drugs across the empire to planet. Now, with that being said, the reason why, because you can put a kid in a small seat in a big rocket ship, and they can put more cargo, more fuel in that spaceship and get more money with a huge load of drugs, a bigger load of drugs. And so that is why they put a kid instead of an adult in those kind of spaceships. A smaller body means more cargo. More cargo means more money. But either way, it was him doing anything he could to stay alive. That even means working with drug dealers to get money, to keep himself alive, to hopefully one day reach a better life. But then that leads into the moment where really we see Bartor get his powers, because one of the last times where he was transporting drugs across the universe, there was an accident, and this accident almost killed him. Now, with him almost having a near-death experience, or also the fact that he was around some high-level radiation, it unlocked some kind of meta gene. And so with that, he began to use his super speed. And when he learned more and more about his super speed by going around doing different things in different planets in the Empire, he realized that with his power, he could change things. He could possibly bring down the functionary. He could change things for this Empire and finally get revenge for his parents, and hopefully, and just maybe, make this place a better place for his sister. Now, of course, you do have Kid Flash use his powers to continue to lead a revolution, to make things better in this particular area of the universe for all planets that the functionary particularly owns. And so it's him trying his best to change things, to make things better for not just for himself or his sister, but everybody who was affected by the functionary. And so using his powers to lead a revolution, it was a great idea for the most part. But of course, Bartor was going around killing people as well to make some big statements that saying, hey, we're about to change everything for this empire, for this area. Now, this leads into another problem, and that problem is this right here. In one of his last battle, his sister got hurt. Now, she did not die, but she almost did. And so with his sister almost having a near-death experience, it kind of showed him what he was doing was possibly wrong. Yes, you're fighting against a functionary, but people on the sideline are being hurt, including your sister. She almost died. And so with her almost dying, it kind of made Kid Flash realize that maybe his revolution is the wrong way, the wrong thing to fix things. And so now he's kind of like, okay, maybe I should back up. Maybe I should go ahead and turn myself in to continue to protect my sister, because he feels like if he continues on, his sister is going to die possibly, or more innocent people are going to die because his battle between him and the functionary, his revolutionary people against the functionary, could kill more innocent people down the road. And so, of course, with his sister almost dying, he turned himself in. And so when he did, he promised the functionary that he would actually help them bring down the rebels that were still trying to lead his revolution. And so, of course, he was put in witness protection service, but he was sent to the past. And of course, that was the moment we met him back in Teen Titans #1, where of course it led to him meeting up with the rest of the Teen Titans and them going on all those different adventures that we saw them go on as we read the new 52 Teen Titan books. But either way though, this is now Kid Flash pleading to the Teen Titans and saying, look, I was that crazy evil guy in the past. I stole, I murdered, but I did all that to survive, but to also change my empire. But once I was sent in the past with you guys, the Teen Titans, I have changed. I became a better person. And honestly, you have to believe me that I have changed. But of course, with the Teen Titans seeing that video of his origin, they're kind of like, did you really change though? Are you really good? Are you going to trick us and go back to your old ways? Like, can we really actually trust you, Bartor? Because that is your real name. But when we jump into the next section, we actually pick up with Solace. Now, Solace is a very powerful character, but that's not the point. The point is that she is the girlfriend of Kid Flash. Because remember, in the New 52, when the Teen Titans came together, those two characters became a couple. We watched these two fall in love with one another, and she was so helpful for Bartor to hopefully learn about who he was, because he forgot that he was some kind of criminal. And so you have Red Robin just coming over to make sure that she is okay. But of course, she's kind of mad at the rest of the Teen Titans for truly not understanding Bartor, because she does. Because to the rest of the Teen Titans, they're kind of like, hey, we're okay if someone steals. We're okay if someone's, lie. But when it comes down to you basically killing someone, that is what we are not okay with. And so with that, it's kind of like, hey, he killed people. We are Teen Titans. We are not allowed to kill people at all. That right there is not okay at all. But at the same time, you have Solace say, but you don't understand. He had to kill to survive. That is something that she understands, because before she joined the Teen Titans, she was trapped by a bad guy named Harvest, who forced teenagers to fight against one another. And so she had no choice but to kill. And so she understands what Bartor went through. He killed to survive. It wasn't like he went out there to do it on purpose. He did it as a way to survive. It is something that Red Robin and the rest of the Teen Titans truly don't understand at all. But then we jump over to Bartor, who's right now still continuing to try to plead his case, to say that he has changed, that he has gotten better. Because when he was sent in the past, he did not remember who he was. And it gave him the ability to actually make friends, form a superhero team, work together, and learn how to become a hero. And so with them doing all those different things, he's saying, listen, I realized what I did was wrong. I'm a better person. And he's telling this to Wonder Girl, because Wonder Girl is kind of like, can we actually trust you? Did you actually change? Are you a better person like you're saying you are right now? But then Wonder Girl realized that he is lying. He's lying as a way to hopefully trick her, to have her help him. But then he starts laughing and saying, listen, Wonder Girl, a war is coming. And when this war comes, you must choose a side. So you better get ready, because it's coming very soon. But then we jump over to Superboy. Now remember, this is not our Superboy. This is an evil Superboy. Let me explain. In the very beginning of the New 52, you had Connell, the original New 52 Superboy, and we learned that he was a clone. Now, we were left to believe that he was a clone of Superman, but of course, as the New 52 went on, we come to find out Connell wasn't a clone of Superman. He was a clone of somebody else. And then we found out that he was a clone from somebody else from a different timeline. And so when the Teen Titans, after Forever Evil, began the process of traveling the time stream of the DC universe, they went to that timeline where Connell met the person he was cloned from. This Superboy you're seeing on your screen right now, and his name is John. And in that timeline, John is an evil Superboy. He went around killing all metahumans and all that stuff right there, because he felt like metahumans were kind of like, well, basically making humans slaves, not giving humans the ability to have free will. And so with that, John, the evil Superboy, killed all metahumans in his timeline. Now, Connell and John fought against each other, and John won. Connell won. But right after Connell won, he was pulled away to a different event called Krypton Returns, a Superman, Supergirl, Superboy crossover. But at the end of that event, Connell just disappeared. And so we were left with John, the evil Superboy, who's right now with the Teen Titans for a special reason. Because after his battle with Connell, he was badly injured. But when the Teen Titans found John, they thought John was actually Connell. And so they took John with them as they continued to travel the time stream and to also help him recover after all his injuries. Because again, they believe that John is Connell, their original Superboy. This is why it's so crazy. And so right now we have an evil Superboy pretending to be Connell. So he's waiting until he fully recovers, he's back at full strength, and he will try to kill the Teen Titans. Now Raven knows that of course this is not a good Superboy at all. But of course she also has plans for the Teen Titans down the road. But then we actually jump over to the trial of Kid Flash, Bartor. Now, this is huge because remember, he was leading a revolution. He had a bunch of rebels under his control. They were making big statements across the empire. The functionary do not like him nor his people. And so with that, everybody is watching this trial because Bartor is a high profile person. Everybody's watching. They want to see what will happen to him. And the people who believe in the functionary, they're hoping that he comes out guilty and he is sentenced to death. But of course, you would think that Bartor would try to say some things as a way to help him get out of this case, to hopefully show them that he has changed. Because at the end of the last chapter, he was pleading that he did change. But then you have to remember when he had a conversation with Wonder Girl, he was not a good guy anymore. And matter of fact, he was showing her his true colors. And he told her a war is coming. And so when it came time, when it came time for him to basically say some words to hopefully change the minds of the people who are going to decide if he is innocent or guilty, he's all like, no, I'm guilty like no other. Like everything I did was to get rid of you guys because you guys basically have put me and my family in the worst position ever. And the thing is, there's other people out there who are going through the same thing like I did right now, but you're not doing anything to make things better for them. And if they don't praise you guys, if they praise an actual God or a different God rather than you guys, you get upset and put us down. And so no, I'm here to basically change things. And like I told Wonder Girl, a war is coming. And that is the moment you have a huge explosion happen to show us that the war is happening right now because those rebels, they're here to save their leader. This was all part of Kid Flash's plan. He knew this would happen. And so he's hoping to actually bring down the functionary here and now because with him being a high profile person and him being put on trial, there were a lot of people, high profile people, watching this trial. People who are so high up the chain of ranks in the functionary, they were there to watch the trial. The judges are very important when it comes to the functionary. And so it's Kid Flash saying, I was able to get all you people here in one room. And now my goal is to kill you all. Now, of course, you do have the Teen Titans kind of like, Bartor, what are you doing? Why are you trying to have more blood on your hands? Because at the end of the first chapter, you basically told us that you had changed. But then again, he did tell Wonder Girl a war is coming to show his true colors. And so he tells the Teen Titans, no, I'm doing this as a way to make things better for me and people like me. And so with that, you better get out of my way and help me or get out of my way and go back home. But this is going to happen here and now. And so then you have the Teen Titans say, no, we are going to stop you. And so you had Kid Flash say, I'm sorry to hear that. But of course, that now means I have to kill you guys as well. Even his own girlfriend, Solace. But getting into the third chapter of this video, we actually pick up with Superboy. I find this hilarious because in the opening pages, it's the evil Superboy being forced to fight because, of course, he's right now trying to pretend that he is the good Superboy. But either way, though, we do pick up with him right now holding some soldiers, and he flew out into space, and he pretends that he is unable to actually fly through space easily. And so he says, oh my gosh, we're gonna die. I can't fly anywhere safe at all. Sorry, guys. Then he's all like, psych, I can fly through space, but no one can see me, leaving you out here to your death. So later, and I'm kind of like, oh, dude, that's just messed up. But he's evil, so it kind of does make sense. But then we get into a battle between Wonder Girl and Kid Flash. Now, of course, for my Wonder Girl fans out there, I know you would think that Kid Flash would lose to her. And honestly, I would agree at certain points. But right now, this is a Kid Flash who we are not really used to. This is a Kid Flash who basically has an army under his control. He knows how to strategize. He knows how to take down people if he needs to complete a mission. And so with that being said, he was able to defeat Wonder Girl very easily. Now, once he does that, you then have Solace step in. Now, Solace is, of course, again, the girlfriend of Kid Flash. And so this is hard for her to actually fight against her boyfriend. But she knows that he must be stopped because now innocent people who were on the side of the functionary are being hurt. But again, it's Kid Flash all like, who gives a care? If I'm able to get rid of all of these people as a way to make things better for me and people like me, then who gives a care? I'll do anything I need to actually stop all of this mess. And so right now, it's Kid Flash completely gone down the dark road. Now, getting over to Red Robin, he's right now fighting alongside Brain 3 or Brainiac 3. Honestly, her name is not even important at all because really what is important is what she tells Red Robin, because Red Robin is trying to have everybody just stop. But of course, you have Brain 3 explain, no, you need to stop Bartor. And he's kind of like, no, he's one of us. But then you have Brain 3 say, no, he wasn't. He never was. The person you remember, the person you fought alongside was not real. That was a Bartor sent to the past with no idea who he was. He had a clean slate, but once he remembered everything who he was, that clean slate was now gone. And so now he's back to his old way. That person you remember is no longer around. And so until you realize that, you will continue to get played over and over and over again. But then we get into a battle between Superboy and Kid Flash. Now, right off the bat, this battle is not fair for Kid Flash at all. Because for Kid Flash, he's better when he's on the ground. And so what happens when you take someone into space whose powers work better when he's on the ground? Superboy should actually able to win this battle so easily. But on top of that, let's not forget, this is an evil Superboy, an evil one. And so right now, he's kind of like, dude, I will kill you. I will basically kill you off to stop all of this madness because right now I'm tired of all of this. I'm tired of being part of all of this. Now, Kid Flash and the rest of the Teen Titans still have no idea that this is an evil Superboy. And right now, Bartor, he's full of rage that he's unable to realize that this is an evil Superboy. And right now it's him more kind of like, hey, I will kill you if I need to, Superboy. I still have some abilities that could work against you, even though you have me in the air right now. And so it's kind of very interesting to see two characters right now, both bad and possibly about to kill one another. Now, the functionary knew there is one thing in this universe that could easily stop Bartor before he does any more damage across the universe. And that one thing is his sister. Because remember, she did not die. She survived. And so, of course, the functionary put her right in front of Bartor. And when they did that, he stops. And it gives her the moment to actually talk to her brother, to tell her brother what he's doing, what he has done is wrong. It's not right. It's her basically pleading her case and saying, look, brother, look what you have done. This is not what our parents would have wanted. Instead, our parents would have want you to try to change this universe, this empire, in a better way, a way with less violence. But here's the thing. She even says, our parents were great parents, but their biggest problem, they believed in a God they have never seen. They had no idea if he was real or not. And with them putting their faith in that God, it led to this right here, a war that you have made because you believe that you should revenge our parents. But our parents would not want revenge. Instead, they would want you to come home to me, your sister, so that we could be a family again. And that is how this war ends, with him relaxing and just kind of holding or hugging his sister. Now, of course, after everything is done and said, you do have the trial continue on. And of course, you have the judges like, dude, you're guilty like no other. I mean, look what you did. Look at what you did. This comes after you agreed to help us, and look what you did. So yeah, no, you're going to jail. You're going to jail for a very long time. Your sister being one of our high-rank officers doesn't even help you at all. Like, you're going to jail, and we wish you the best of luck. Now, you do have Kid Flash, Bart Tor, tell the Teen Titans to basically let him go. Like, hey guys, listen. Just go back to your time. Let me go. Let me do this. Let me serve my time. Like, what I did was wrong. What I did to you guys was also wrong because basically I almost killed you guys. And so you have the Teen Titans actually respect his wishes, except one person. That person is Solus. Now, before I tell you what she does next, let me explain. Solus was the nicest person on the team. Literally the nicest person on the team. And so with that being said, it's kind of crazy to see her do this right now in this book, because with her seeing her man basically being sentenced as guilty and going to jail for a very long time with the possibility that he would die in prison, you have Solus say, no, I will not let you go to jail without me. I will go to jail with you so we can stay together, which to me is even crazier. And so what she does next, and this is where we are going to end today's comic book video, she kills one of the judges, just blows a hole in that guy's stomach, and it's kind of like, if he goes to jail, I go to jail too. And this is where we are going to end today's comic book video. So with that being said, please leave me a like down below and subscribe. Also, if you have any suggestions on books I should read, well, please let me know in the comments below, because you never know, your suggestion could be a future video down the road. But guys, I'll see y'all next time. Later.